Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan. We are here in Camden Town with the one and only coach Alexis, who's just overseeing KSI do his open workout. First of all, coach, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good to hear on a very busy fight week. First of all, can you tell me, from the time that KSI entered your gym under your tutelage to the time we've just seen him now, how much has he improved as a fighter?
Yeah, 1000%. He's a totally different human being. He understands fighting, he's got movement, he's got skills. He's been in situations he's never experienced before. He's sparred, like I said, over 125, 130 rounds for this fight, live rounds, with national champions, with MMA fighters, with beginners, guys trying to kill him. He's had experience, he's well trained. Obviously, he hasn't boxed as a kid. So it's not that he's going to be a Canelo-style slipping and weaving. He's going to be a fighter, someone who's understanding combat now, who's understanding boxing, and who can put it together really well.
Is he someone who maybe is already ready for more than 4 rounds, 6 rounds, whatever it is? Like, is he ready for that already?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously we have these journeyman matches like in British boxing that bring boxers on, and being a YouTube fight now is different. I mean, his fans expect him to fight Jason Bourne, like literally they expect it immediately, which is great because they've got hype and they're passionate. But you know, he's got to put the work into box. So fighting Swarmz and then fighting this Mexican who's had 50 amateurs and who's 2 wins as a pro and 3 losses or 4 losses, whatever. It's a tough fight. So it's something where we're going to get our standing. He's going to get experience. He's going to learn so much for it. So I think it's the correct order to do it.
I noticed that when he was on the pads with yourself, there was a big noise when he connected with that. Of the assets that KSI has, what would you say is his best assets as a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, in his training, he outworks everybody. He won't be denied. He's an absolute soldier. He works really, really hard. Won't be outworked, and that intensity carries through into his pad work, carries through into his sparring, carries through into his running. It carries through. He's a competitor. He wants to win. So that's an attribute that has just been accentuated and amplified. But his skill set's getting real good now. Like, he's picking punches. Sometimes he's just missing them, but they're the right punch. Whereas before, he wouldn't even think about throwing that punch, or his head would be in the same place. Now his head is moving, he's picking the punch, he's setting his opponent up, he's drawing him, he's feeling a fight. You only get that by doing lots and lots of rounds. So, it's learning on the job, it's an educational job.
Coach, what did you make of Alex Wasabi pulling out? And then when the idea came and KSI said, I want to fight 2 people in one night, what did you think?
I think he must still be concussed. I think he's, listen, I'm not saying he's not a tough guy, and I've got a lot of respect for him and his team. It's a great team. He didn't want the fight. He was going to pull out because there's no reason. A concussion, when you got concussion, you're not allowed to run, you're not allowed to box, you can't go to a gym. Listen, if I pulled out of a fight, or I've got fighters that pulled out a world fight, they don't want to be seen. It's a devastating thing. The guy wears it really well, and I think that from a boxing point of view, boxers pull out of fights. We tuck our heads down, we go back to the gym, and we get our rest, and then we come back to it. So I think that maybe he didn't really want it as much as he thinks he wanted it.
We heard that KSI say he was going to drown Swarmz when he gets into the ring. Are we going to see 2 different KSIs in each fight, or is it the same KSI?
You're going to have to see 2 different KSIs because one's got over 50 amateurs and is a pro boxer, and the other one doesn't. But the dangerous one is the extra dangerous one. Although they're both dangerous, the extra dangerous one is first. The guy who's heavier, the guy who's got a big punch, he's first. He's the unknown quantity of where that punch is coming from is first. With this pro boxer that you saw just now, he throws down the line and straight, and he's a tough guy and had lots of fights, but you know where those punches are coming from. That's easier to deal with than someone who is more of a novice,
Can you tell me in your own words, in your own perspective, naturally everyone wants to see the culmination of this whole thing, to see KSI take on Jake Paul. There was the offers back and forward and the banter back and forward, but do you think that fight does happen? Do you think Jake wants it?
Yeah, they both don't like each other, and we're both from good camps and good teams. If money's not a question, which we've said money isn't a question, we all put our wages and our salaries, everything goes on the line for that fight. There should be no question. Wembley Stadium, summertime next year, KSI versus Jake Paul. It's a sellout, and it's a great fight, and that's what we want. So that's where we've got to go.
There seems to be some momentum gathering towards maybe a Jake Paul and Andrew Tate, Cobra Tate fight. From what you've seen or what you know about Andrew Tate, do you reckon he's a formidable challenge?
Yeah, I know Andrew Tate well. He's sparred in my gym before, so he's comes from a kickboxing background. Andrew Tate's a lovely guy who's a legit world champion who can throw. He's a fighter. What he's doing now, I don't know. I'm not involved in what he's doing. I haven't seen him for a few years, so obviously his lifestyle changing. These other guys, their lifestyle is going towards boxing and fighting, whereas Andrews is maybe going towards being wealthy and being online. I don't know whether he's training as hard, but the Andrew I knew is a tough man.
Who would you pick to win?
From the Andrew that I knew before, if that Andrew that I knew sparred and turned up, that Andrew obliterates Jake. But the truth of the matter is that we've got loads of guys in the gym that have been world champions at being great, they're this, they're that. Some young buck comes in that can throw a punch and wants it more, he gets it more. So it's an open fight. It's not, I mean, we can't go back in time and we can't look to the future, so it's an open fight, but exciting.
Coach, final question from me. What's your prediction in the 2 fights KSI takes on Saturday? What's your prediction for them?
KO and KO.